Hi, guys. Well, we should have some folks coming in here pretty soon. Sure, we'll get a nice crowd today. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Making progress here. So we'll be underway in just a couple of moments. Hi, somebody's in the room. That's a good thing. That's progress. It's been a sort of dynamic and changing week at Glendale College. As you can see from my notes, they're all scribbled and cross outs and all that since Monday. Oh, I see that Carly is in the room and Jay Yoon. Good to have you guys here. All right, we're up to 4, and we will grow from there. Hello, Rafa. Glad to have you here. Looks like it's clearing up. I'm looking out my window. I have a window just on that side of my desk, and yeah, no May gray today. It's nice fluffy clouds, nice sky. Hello, Serena. Okay, we are almost at 10:45. I don't know why, but I just feel kind of ready to get going here. All right, just turned 10:45. All right, time to start. There are a lot of things going on around Glendale College. Hi, Ashley and Evelyn. Good having you in the room here. Um, this week, GCC Pride Week continues. I think part of the college experience is being able to be with your peers, and events like Pride Week and also Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, which has events going on, that those are part of college life. Also, there are career development workshops going on this week. There was one yesterday that I emailed you about. I emailed you at the last minute. And the reason for that was Stephanie was not able to do her supplemental instruction. And so the suggestion of what to do instead was that career education workshop yesterday, which really was pretty good. It had an award-winning animator and a set director who's working with several of the local studios, and an executive producer at Microsoft Game Studio. So that must have been a pretty good presentation. So if anyone was there and is doing the extra credit assignment that I suggested in that email yesterday, then I'll be happy to see it, because I couldn't be at the panel because I had to go to a faculty meeting. However, if you are interested in these career education industry panels, there's one this evening at 6 p.m. about finance, business, marketing, sales, and service. And there's one tomorrow about health science, medical information technology. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into other announcements. Is anyone here transferring? I know that I have some students in my classes who are heading off to who knows where in the fall. I had a student in the previous class who was going off to the University of Alabama in the fall. We don't have many students going there, so that was kind of interesting. If you are transferring, our transfer center has a transfer celebration. Obviously, it will have to be online, and that is going to be on Thursday at 12:30. So if you are like Serena, who is going to Cal State Northridge, then yeah. So how to get in on this transfer celebration? I have the particulars listed in the announcements, so look for it there. Something that I hope isn't something that you have to take advantage of is if you or maybe somebody you know has kind of fallen behind in a class and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to, fail it or what have you. Saturday, May 16th, Saturday is the last day to drop a class. Now, while I think that whenever possible, students should not drop classes, if you do have to, this year there's a special designation. It's called the EW. I guess it's pronounced ew. But anyhow, the EW stands for excused withdrawal. And it's a little bit better than a typical W. In the announcements, I have put a link to the upgraded Glendale College grading guide. And it talks about the EW and other such things. So if there's a class where you've just lost interest in it, then Saturday's the deadline to get out of it without any harm being done to you academically. Hi, Liva. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Yesterday, I went to the faculty meeting, online faculty meeting. And it is official that the fall semester is going to be all remote learning, distance education. We're not returning to campus. The Dean of Instruction said that they may look a little bit at classes like, welding or pottery or something like that, they have to be done in person. And he wasn't promising anything, but he said a few classes like that, they may look at some way to have a face-to-face way of doing that. But other than that, we're all on screen in the fall. And by the way, the Cal State system. So Serena, this affects you. The Cal State system is going to be all virtual in the fall too. As for the UC, I don't think they've officially ruled either way yet. Liva, get in your question on the extra credit, and then I'll work it in where appropriate. So yeah, go ahead, ask your question. Joel, hello, good to see you. All right, up next among the announcements, because Stephanie had to cancel her SI yesterday, then next week on Tuesday the 19th, she's going to be going through 2 chapters, the advertising chapter and the public relations chapter. So that kind of works well together because they're both what are called persuasive media. Also going on next week is going to be quiz number 3. So beginning on Monday, quiz number 3 will be visible and it will be accessible for the week. And it'll cover the 3 chapters after the midterm. So that is television, internet, and advertising. It will be multiple choice, just like quiz 2 will be. You will have multiple opportunities to take it, like quiz number 2. It should be pretty easy. Okay. Let's see. Let me field the question coming in from Liva. Okay. Let's see. Liva, the panel yesterday that I emailed everyone about, I gave folks an extra credit opportunity. Being extra, you don't have to do it. But I gave the link to the panel. In fact, in the last class, I had a student who went to the panel. And then for the assignment, you were to write a 300-word summary of what the members of the panel had to say. That's for my benefit too, because I wasn't able to go to it because I was in the faculty meeting. The 300-word summary you put in the text box, and you say, okay, well, how do I access that? Well, you scroll down to the bottom of your home screen for this class on Canvas. And at the bottom, there's field trips. It's there. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else? What is up next? Oh, I have not gotten a term paper from everyone. Most people, but not everyone. Um, if you are late on your term paper, email me. We'll work something out. So, I want students to get through this class. And, think about magnitudes. Amounts of points at stake, right? If you're talking about, say, one question on a media note quiz, that's 1 point. But you miss your term paper, well, gosh, that's a 50-point term paper. And even if it's a halfway decent term paper, you'll still get 35 or 30 or, what have you. So, that's a lot of points on the table. Okay. Up next, the question of the day. The question of the day is rooted in the idea that the world is sort of slowly, haltingly getting back to normal. Like, for example, the trails in LA city parks opened up last weekend. Just last night, I hiked with friends in Griffith Park. And the beaches in LA County are opening today, not just for general sunbathing, but if you are doing some activity at the beach, like you're running along the beach, or you're surfing, or you're open water swimming, or something like that. So, all right, here's the question of the day. Most beaches and hiking trails will be open by this weekend. How do you plan to use them? Most beaches and hiking trails will be open by this weekend. How do you plan to use them? So, while you formulate your answer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what trails in the mountains in the Angeles National Forest might be wide enough to provide social distancing, and maybe be remote enough that they aren't real crowded. Because, gosh, it'd be nice to take a hike or a trail run in the mountains. So I'm going to hear your comments. Liva, the link to yesterday's panel was in the announcements. I reproduced the announcement that Career Education sent out, and they had the thing that you paste into your browser to go off to that presentation. Okay. Live is also asking about how long we're going to be remote. We are definitely going to be remote through the fall. In yesterday's faculty meeting, it became pretty clear that we weren't going to just start the fall semester online. The whole semester was going to be online. As for winter this year, I don't know. No decision has been made on that. Ooh, Joel is saying they took off the basketball hoops in the parks. Wow. So now if you make a perfect shot, you don't get nothing but net. You just get nothing. The difference between basketball and golf, because the golf courses opened this week, at least in LA, is that in golf, at least theoretically, you only touch your own ball. But in basketball, everybody's holding the ball, right? Liva is saying, plan to hike and exercise, especially maintaining social distancing. Yeah, when I was with friends last night, we all had masks, and we were all, real cognizant of trying to, maintain distance from each other. So yeah, you're right. That's important. Joel is saying, I would stay at home and think about how nice it'd be to go to those places. Well, yeah, I can understand that. Marina is going to walk along the beach. You know, Marina, a little bit of unsolicited advice. I'll bet those beaches are going to get very, very crowded. So if you're going to do it, think about non-peak hours, right? You know, don't go at 2 in the afternoon. It'll probably be packed. Rafa is going to take a cautious approach. Is going to wait a little longer before going out. I can understand that. I can understand that. Ashley is saying still a little fearful, still a little paranoid because of all the dire things we're hearing. I mean, among other things, the death toll in the United States over the virus has topped 80,000. It's a lot of people. Live is saying thinks it's a little safer to stay home and go outside. Yeah, yeah. And Live is also pointing out that it's tough to do strenuous things while wearing a mask. And I agree. You know, you're trying to run or something, and here you go. This is a mask I got from the mayor's website, LA Protects. It's a nice cloth mask, but when you're working hard, you kind of suck it in, right? It's tough to breathe. Haley is saying may wait a little longer. Yeah, yeah. Marina going to the beach early in the morning. Yeah, I think that's probably a good move. Probably a good move. All right. So, what are we doing today? Well, first off, the media note is going to be, it's entitled The Not So Friendly Skies. This keys in with the public relations chapter, and it is about a situation that United Airlines found itself in about 3 years ago, where, boy, did that company look bad. I mean, it really was a terrible incident. And from a public relations standpoint, it was just a disaster. So I want you to click on the link for the cell phone video that is just, it's just god awful. It really is. And listen to the NPR story about the immediate reaction, the immediate fallout to the situation. And then head on over to Canvas for the media note quiz. Now, it'll be the typical multiple choice media note quiz. I will go back to the text entry form at some point, but not every time. As for today's lecture, you are to finish up Chapter 12, Public Relations. So last time you ended with the slide, Who are the publics? Today, you are to start with the next slide, which is titled Principles of Crisis Communication. So start with Principles of Crisis Communication and take it through the end of the chapter. That's about 22 minutes. All right, so Joel is saying that he's going to go sell masks at the beach. That's a good idea. Yeah. All right, so any final questions before I end the live stream and head on over to Canvas chat? Well, all right. I will end the stream and I'll be over at chat in just a few seconds. So see you soon.